I'm trying to rent a little shop, and then I could set up a real studio.
Wow, that'd be cool.
And I just was doing some soundproofing between these two condos, so I've looked and heard and seen all the options. And now this guy's gonna buy a roll of this shit that goes in between the drywall.
Yeah.
And it turns the sound into heat. It's like, it's not just blocking sound or absorbing it. It changes the sound. So I'm real curious to hear what that sounds like when he puts it up. Because right now, I swear, it's when their dog barks next door, it's louder in the place I'm in than in the unit the dog's in, probably. That's how thin the walls are. Holy shit, I don't know how they could stand it. Right?
They could hear dogs barking?
No, I'm saying I could hear the dog in the kitchen that I'm working on, and the neighbors I think their kitchen's on the other side. But when their dog barks, you swear to God it's in the same fucking room you are. Like, that's how loud it is from the neighbors.
Wow.
I would say whisper, but they still can hear us.
Whisper.
He started the job, and I guess the dude fired him because I don't know why. I didn't hear the exact reason, but he wasn't meeting the standards of the new homeowner. Well,
yeah. So
now he's being a real dick. He's like complaining. He wants everyone to be done with noise till, by 8 o'clock. So everyone's kissing his ass, which I understand because that's what you should do. But this guy, he's like, he put nails in the guy's tire out front because of it, the new homeowner. Right?
Yeah.
So now he's spending every dime he can to soundproof his way away from the neighbor. That's what I would do it. I mean, you got it open, right? Might as well do it now.
Yeah, neighbors suck.
This place was $150,000, a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and nothing fancy, like
I don't
2
care.
parking spots.
Dude,
right?
Really? I mean, I thought we're doing a show here.
We are.
Is this the show?
Well, the end of it will be by the time he puts 50, that's what you get out here by Denver.
I was watching this thing about genetic, like genetic changes, like splicing and stuff. It's like a new thing they can do to like change genes, and it's called CRISPR.
I've never heard of that.
You never heard of CRISPR before?
No, I heard about, didn't they take a pig and crossbreed it or whatever?
Well, I think what happened was they figured, here's what happened, viruses attack bacteria, all the time. Well, someone discovered that once a virus attacks a bacteria, and the next time the virus comes there, the bacteria can detect its DNA, and then it cuts the DNA. And so when someone found that, they're like, wow, we could take that same skill that this bacteria has, and we can cut the DNA the same way. And that chick won the Nobel Prize and shit, right? It's real easy to do and cheap to do. You could go out online and buy a gene splicing thing cheaply. It's not even a complicated thing, it turns out. It's easy to do, and so now it's all kinds of controversies are starting about gene manipulation and shit. Well, and so we can go on and on about the goods and the bads, making super people and all kinds of weird shit, right?
Right.
But one thing that really shocked me when I heard about the story was, how being Down syndrome is like a genetic or like something that's like genetically what do you call it, deformity.
Right.
Or being a dwarf, that's a genetic deformity. Well, a lot of these groups are used to having groups, So like,
Right.
if you get rid of all the people that have Down syndrome, now the people with Down syndrome are upset. They're like, well, why we're not going to have any more Down syndrome people? It's like, and the dwarfs are upset. What kind of world would this be without dwarf people? It's like, dude, they're upset.
Yeah, right.
It's like, well, this is a good thing,
Say, listen, trust me, you'd rather be me, okay?
Yeah, you think they would want this. The problem is it's all going to dry up, there's only going to be like in Switzerland or something, they've eliminated Down syndrome. There's nobody with it anymore because of these genetic tests, and now people abort the kid. Not Switzerland, like Iceland or something, or I don't know, one of those countries.
They should do it with dogs. Get rid of all their defects.
It's just weird that groups get upset, like deaf people get upset when people get eardrum implants. They're like, it's like they're
it's part of nature. I think it's so that we thin each other out. It gives you something to get up off the couch and go for. Because even animals do that. Like there'll be a pack of lions, and if they wander over in their area, even though they're all lions and they got nothing to be pissed off about, they still kill them. Why is that? We do the same thing. If you're not like me, there's a chances are you're my enemy, basically, for whatever reason. You know what I mean?
It just makes me mad because I saw this Down syndrome person testifying in front of Congress, and they're like, isn't there a place in the world for people with Down syndrome? It's like, no, there should be no people with Down syndrome. That's the right world, It's like these groups just are clinging to their group, and they're upset that group's going to end. That doesn't even make sense to me.
We figure out how to manipulate death with it.
Yeah, I'm sure that's coming.
They'll be like, remember those guys? They only lived 100 years? Ha ha.
Yeah.
5 years later, I'm still playing polo.
That would be weird. Only rich people, though, would.
Right.
All poor people would still die young.
What would happen is they were waiting for that. And then they'd be like, oh shit, now we gotta do stuff. We gotta all the helpers. Damn it. If they make a good enough rack of robots, then they're gonna start some shit like that. Let's thin out some of these lawnmowers and maids.
And they'll figure out a way to make their dog live forever. So
right.
A rich person and his rich dog lives 500 years. That's my 500-year-old dog.
I'm gonna make a tool belt that goes on the back of your dog, and he just follows you around. And if people say I'm mean, I'll say, listen, I have a bad back. He's a helper dog.
He's a service dog.
Yeah. And even if it's a little too heavy or whatever, just tie a couple helium balloons to the thing and take a little weight off his back.
I heard something funny today. Here's what it was, ready?
What?
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I hear that, I laugh.
I'd say what we did was fucking. It wasn't
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Wasn't sexual relations. We were straight up fucking like no tomorrow. You know how they say, are you making love or fucking? It depends on who it is.
I was watching this show on monogamy,
Yeah.
like all kinds of things about it, and they were talking about different kinds of animals and what characteristics monogamous animals have that or animals that don't compete,
Like
for
Alex, right?
like a gorilla They say typically the animals that compete for the women are the male is at least 15 to 25% bigger than the female. Because they have to compete. They have to compete for the female. Where there's other animals that don't compete. They just have multiple partners.
Right.
In those cases, the male and female are typically about the same size.
Well, insects, usually the female's way bigger and kills the male after sex. Eats them. Good thing humans didn't evolve to that.
Also, like, their nuts are bigger, too. It's like...
Right.
That's another thing they said, that, like, their nuts are...
Are there any animals that don't kill each other, like, out of territorial or just anger? Like dolphins, do they go after each other like another group would?
I don't think so, because I don't think they fight over a mate.
Did they fight at all, though, like over territory or just like little sparring? And then if that's true, if there's an animal that does that, I'm sure it's not the honey badger, then we should figure out why and what's going on in its head, right? Try and eliminate all fighting in the world. What do you think? It'll just be a sport, like, we'll call it UFC or something like that. You still there?
Yeah, I was just looking up the name of this animal it's called a bonobo, or a bonobo.
Right.
It's a kind of monkey that we're related to.
Huh.
Yeah. Bonobo, or bonobo.
No.
It says we're closely related to these bonobo monkeys.
Right. Do they have like yellow face or, hair around their eyes?
It says we're more closely related to them than an African elephant is related to an Indian elephant. Isn't that weird?
We should try training them monkeys and see what happens. They take over the world. You taught them a little too much.
Yeah.
That'd be fucked up.
They don't compete. They don't compete for a partner.
Don't you notice how, like, the dog whisperer, he can train a dog in a day to do more than you could train him in a lifetime, right? So if you were that good at training a dog, you just keep going crazy till it's sitting up in a chair with a pipe reading the paper.
See how far you could take it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You think about how well trained his dog is, you know?
Right. I teach the dog how to fetch my tools, have a special tool rack. Say, get me a Phillips. And he runs over there. You give him a little treat. Get me my speed square. Right? So I'm starting to get my back hurts. Every time I bend over, it's like, almost, or if you had a little pooch that's running around grabbing your tools.
Or a monkey.
You teach them each and every one. The problem is monkeys, they don't follow all the rules, even though they're smart. The dog will. You know what I'm saying? You turn around, the monkey's over out the door and climbing.
I can't catch a break in this life, dude. I'll tell you. It doesn't matter what I do.
We'll call it the canine. What is the thing? Bucketeer is what they call the other thing that goes on your bucket.
The canine bucketeer?
Yeah, but it's not a bucket now. It's a dog. So, or no, I was thinking at first put it on his back so he could follow you around with your tools instead of you wear the tool belt.
I don't like dogs.
A little of both. You just use it for work. You have a big toolbox on your truck with a dog dish. Okay, up in your spot. See you tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah, don't even take them home. Just leave them on the job site with your tools.
Yeah, he's also security. the security dog helper. You know, it's like, what are those fucking handymans? You know, the names of them. You know, there's handyman, all kinds of them, but it's like, one was called Rent a Husband. You show up with a G-string and a tool belt. What? Oh, I misunderstood, right? What you wanted.
It's hard to find regular, like, workers down here, like where I live.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like, now there's commercials on TV for a lot of these companies looking for people to work. And one of them is this company called Service Pro or something.
Yeah, I know it. Serve Pro?
It's kind of like that. They do everything. Like if you have a problem like with your plumbing. Cool.
Police named roommate and report missing Atlanta student found dead.
Yeah, I saw that. That shocked me. That's bullshit, man.
Well, that, you know, you're supposed to, she probably didn't take out the garbage. It was her turn. That's what it's come down to nowadays.
Yeah, something stupid. Or she probably ate her leftover pizza in the fucking fridge or something.
The new generation of kids are going to reform America.
Is that what it is?
Well, this is going to happen, so.
God, what's wrong with these people? I knew something was wrong. Right when I read that she was missing, I was like, that girl's fucked. Because nowadays with your phones and all and shit, and people are like, oh, she hasn't used her phone in a day. It's like, you're fucking dead. It's like, nobody goes a day without using their phone. It's like, that's a fucking sign you're dead. That's how they know. That's the way they could probably, wow, I just came up with like an app or something. Like when your phone like stops working, they know something's wrong with you instantly. It's like a way to keep track of people. Right. It's like the second there's inactivity on your phone, and it fucking alerts somebody. It's like, dude, where were you, dude? What happened to you? You stopped using your phone for 5 minutes.
It alerts all the places that you owe money, like, and it's like, he's not paying.
It just fucking alerts your fucking everybody you know. Find this person quick.
All your bills get alerted.
Find this person.
But they're not getting paid.
I'm telling you, dude. This fucking world is dangerous.
There's too many of us, and we all, it turns out, have our own mind. There's no two people alike.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Or maybe we're all alike.
Out of the billions of people,
that's what it is.
We all think totally different. Every one of us.
I don't know about
so
that.
When they say he's a manic depressant or he's a serial killer, each serial killer thinks different. Each
serial groper.
Each serial groper thinks different. Like, one guy's an ass man, one guy's a tit man.
One guy's groping titties, one guy's groping asses.
One guy's a fag, groping cock.
Yeah.
And it turns out there's a lot more of those nowadays.
Did you ever see the movie? Did you ever see the movie Frozen?
Frozen.
It's a cartoon movie with the fucking ice princess. You did?
It's with Rudolph, or not, with Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, the snowman dude, isn't it?
I don't know. I never saw that.
Well, then how the fuck are you gonna watch Frozen 2, dude? You're not gonna know what's going on.
I'm probably not gonna.
Dude, you're not. You're gonna be lost. You'll be watching Frozen 2. You'll be like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's not.
That's what's gonna happen for you, dude. I'm sorry.
Well, that'll be good.
You're fucked.
I'll be the dude that didn't see Frozen ever. You know what else I didn't see? Nothing in the last good 8 years.
I watched this show about Dead Sea Scrolls and about how they're finding all these like little bits of paper from like 2,000 years ago, like the first book of Genesis ever written and shit. And they got all this scientific equipment that does MRIs on it, and it's like little scraps of this shit are being sold for thousands of dollars, and some of it's fake, and it's like a whole fucking industry of antiquities, right? And I'm thinking to myself, even if you found the oldest version of Genesis, right? Who gives a shit? It's like, Jesus Christ, stop worrying about 2,000 years ago bullshit people wrote. They were fucking idiots anyway. It's like, what are you spending all this money and time and effort on all this bullshit that means absolutely fucking nothing? What a waste of fucking time.
So that they could say they have it or did
Just
it.
move on already. Let's move on in this world. Let's just erase all that bullshit and let it go to the wayside and just say, it's fucking, that's just, move on.
How about that?
Create something new. Go back 2,000 years. I found the first fucking writing of Genesis in a cave in fucking Jerusalem. So what?
Right.
God damn, you people are fucking waste of fucking humanity is what you are. Waste of all of our energy, waste of money.
You know that? I'm inventing something today. That's what we need to do. Start inventing new shit, not worrying about the past. We already know we got fucked over in the past. What do we need to go back?
We already know religion screwed everybody. What are we going back 2,000 years ago to read about religion that screwed everybody for 2,000 years?
And rich people.
Yeah, move
Pretty
on.
much nothing's changed.
I tell you right now, I would take a fucking whiz. If they found that and they put it in front of me, and I'd just fucking take a leak on it. Talk about sacrilegious. I'd be like, you know what? I got something for your pile of fucking 2,000-year-old papers nobody gives a shit about.
Right.
These self-serving sons of bitches is what they are.
I'm gonna invent boredom today.
Invent boredom.
We're gonna go like, that always existed. No, you've never taken it to the level I am about to.
See how bored I could get.
Right.
Watching that. I can't believe these people spend all their energy on that. Look, we found one little scrap of paper from 2,000 years ago somebody wrote. Most of those people back then were frickin' towel-headed morons. They didn't know shit about Shinola. It's like, let's try to get off this planet, you know, and focus on humanity's survival is what we need to focus on.
Get off this planet?
Yeah, we need to fucking work on growing humanity, making it fucking better, making it different. And what are we doing? We're going back 2,000 years ago to read pieces of paper? Shit. There's enough paper in fucking these libraries and shit. Just go read that.
Probably. I wonder how much shit in the library is actually just fucking fake.
Fake.
Other than the fiction stuff.
The Dead Sea Scrolls. It should have just stayed in the Dead Sea where it belonged. And then here's what these archaeologists do. They go back in Egypt and they dig up all these fucking tombs. They're fucking grave robbers. These people were buried and they went through ceremonies to be buried for a reason. And then what do? We go in there and we disturb the whole fucking thing. I can just picture a whole bunch of ancient Egyptians up in heaven right now, all because they were buried properly. And right when we dig them up, they just fucking disappear out of heaven. It's like, you just fucking disrupted the whole fucking thing they were doing. It's like a bunch of grave robbers. These archaeologists are not archaeologists. They believe in religion, but they're doing the most sacrilegious thing you can do by digging up someone's grave and fucking robbing it. It's like, wow, that's a good thing to do.
Oh, shit.
It's the difference between a grave robber and an archaeologist. There's really very little difference.
You're kidding me. Nothing.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
You know what?
Grave robbers is what they are.
They got a cushy ass job. I say we dig here. Okay, get the men and start digging.
We dug up a body. Good job. Guy went through a lot of trouble to bury that fucking dude. He fucking mummifies 10 fucking cats. He fucking, he goes through all this trouble, and then you dig it up and disturb it all.
If he was buried in such a way, he was a rich bastard living off the backs of poor people.
Kills his wife, fucking mummifies her. It's like, what the fuck? He went through all that trouble. You fucking dig him up. Let's dig this dead guy up and see how he lived 2,000 years ago like anybody cares.
If I was going to dig up any dead guy, I'd dig up Reagan and punch him right in the face.
Reagan. Dig up Reagan. 2,000 years ago, they'll be digging up Reagan. That's what'll happen. Well, I really think future generations won't care about this shit. They'll
be
move
like,
on.
this is the dude that ruined America. Ronald Reagan.
This is the iPhone 1. He was buried with his iPhone. They'll be on like iPhone like 350 by then. iPhone 500. Just came out. I got the iPhone 500. You're still using the iPhone 499, you fucking scummy piece of shit. Using 499. God.
We should regulate people in general.
Regulate everybody.
If you do something stupid, then they just castrate you.
Nobody knows what stupid is, though. That's the problem. You don't know what stupid is till fucking the next generation. It's too late by then. It's too late. You ever hear something called ranked choice voting?
No.
Okay, listen to this. I'm changing the subject, sorry. Ranked choice voting is instead of going in the polling place and voting for one person, you rank them. You're like, here's my first choice, here's my second choice, here's my third choice.
It's like a football pool, fantasy football.
Yeah. And so if nobody gets 50% of the vote, then they go and they take all the people that were last who picked the worst guy, and they take his second choice and make it, and then they keep going until they get to a person who gets the 50%. So you could be like the second choice dude and end up winning. That's what they're starting to change to. And I don't think they're thinking this through clearly, because you could have some radical dude, and a small sect of radical people that could vote some dude in who, because he was the ranked choice lower people, ended up picking him, and the top guy who might have been normal, gets knocked out.
Is that how Trump got in?
Well, Maine is doing this, and now all these other places like San Francisco are switching to it, and all these places are switching. It's like a fad, it's like a new voting fad. We'll all be voting that way eventually.
It's all bullshit. I'll never vote.
You'll never vote?
I vote we don't vote.
Is that your vote? Huh. That's not a bad idea. There should be a choice of like nobody.
We should just vote on all the things that these people are in control of. So they're like, well, we're going to take Medicaid and we're going to steal some of that money and give it to the rich people's tax break. Let's vote on that. Everyone vote?
Yeah.
Oh, we're not doing that? Oh, fuck, we're not doing that.
There you go. Just have everybody vote on every subject instead of Congress. Yeah. Just make it like through your iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
Be like iPhone voting.
The problem with that is you'd have like Chantel who would vote 20 times.
With 20 different iPhones?
Yeah.
That could happen maybe.
You have to use your finger reader on your phone.
You have to use your sphincter.
Yeah.
Your sphincter.
Votes for everything.
Oh, God. Everybody probably has a unique fucking sphincter.
We all get to come up with our own law once a year that we want to try and get in place. Right? Like, you take a subject and you get to come up with your own thinking about it. Then it goes through the panel. Everyone's on their phone anyway. They can see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's going to pop up like on the top. Hey, a new law.
It'd be like on iPhone Messenger or something.
So, check
You ever
this
use
out.
iPhone Messenger?
You would use...
It's like, I never even fucking realized that I got iPhone Messenger. And people
I don't
like...
have an iPhone.
Well, people message me on it, like, fucking send me shit or ask me questions, and I look back and I got like 20 fucking messages from like a year ago that I never even read. I'm like, oh yeah, I got an iPhone Messenger, and then I click on it and there's a whole bunch of shit in there. I'm like, what the fuck is that about?
I rarely even use other things on my phone except Google Maps.
Google Maps, you gotta use that.
That's about it.
Yeah, until you find the closest bar to you. It's like, you type in. You ever hear that saying, go big or go home?
Yeah.
I heard some dude, it was funny, I was watching this Alaskan show, he goes, I'm going big and going home. I thought that was funny as hell. Go big or go home. I'm going big and I'm going home. Fuck you. Oh, that's fucking hilarious, right?
Right? They should make it shit.
That's a good t-shirt right there, man. I'm going big and I'm going home. You can stick that up your ass there.
How about I go to your home and I go big and I get...
I'm going big and I'm going to your home.
I'm going home to your home, then going big. Get there.
It's like, go big or go home. Fuck you. Who the fuck says that?
I think I'm just going to pass on this.
I think what happens is, this is one thing that I've never really had a problem with because I don't care about it, but a lot of people feel like they have to belong to something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't... It doesn't matter if there's any rationale behind it or there's any kind of true belief to something. It's like the belonging is the belief. It's like that's the whole belief system that they're working on.
I know.
It's like I'm part of this group. Now I have to belong to that group. So all the truth and everything around the reality of the world gets thrown out the door. And that internal feeling of belonging, it must be our pack mentality, you know, kind of like,
right,
because you're in the pack, you can't think past it. It's like,
right.
I think that feeling,
you should learn Cub Scouts.
And I think that the urge to belong in your brain is way stronger than the urge of rationality. You know what I'm saying? It's right. It's like once you're grouped in with this group or that group, or it don't matter what the group is. I mean, you could name 50 groups. Rationality goes right out the fucking door.
You should have figured out the law of the pack from
your brain. Belonging trumps all other fucking mental control. Like, remember
the pack that you used to say in Cub Scouts?
Yeah.
I told a customer that one day, and she's like, I can't believe you could still remember that. I'm like,
yeah,
that was the beginning of brainwashing.
Yeah.
That was at the very beginning, my first brainwashing.
Well, the whole idea of belonging comes when you're a kid. It's like your parents put you in that position where you...
It sucks to be me, though, because...
I think past that. I have, like, I use rationality to make my decision.
I'm not a belonger. People want to belong to me.
Yeah, I don't belong to nothing. That's... Actually, I belong to the group that doesn't belong.
People want to belong to me. Oh, you're here to belong to me, huh? Okay, come here. Let me smack you one. That's the first thing we do.
I got a new group.
And see how well I feel after that. If I feel really good, I may smack you twice.
The group of non-belongers. That's belonging. That's starting the Russell paradox right there. Does the group of non-belongers have a person in it that's not belonging because now they're belonging to the group? Because they're in the group of non-belongers.
Right.
That's like
Who's the president of your group? Well, if I knew that, then I wouldn't be a non-belonger.
We're all the president of the group.
You don't get it, do you? That's what you say.
You don't belong to the non-belongers group.
Yep.
So you really don't belong. When you don't belong to the non-belongers, man, you're really not belonging. That's fucking getting way out there, then.
You know, it always existed, but no one really knew about it because of this. Remember that little seat in the corner of Pizza Hut that no one fit in?
Yeah.
That was the booth made for those people.
Is that it? We used to sit there.
Those little tables. They start making tables for one.
You ever notice? Remember when we were kids? We were kids. I always spilled. It was like, what was wrong with me? Was I retarded?
My son spills everything.
I fucking spilled every time we went out to eat. I spilled the fucking drink. I might have been hyperactive.
My son's 25 and he still spills every drink he ever pours.
He must have got that from me, or that gene got passed to him through our fucking gene code.
Spilling Dylan.
I'm still fucking doing it. I fucking just, it's cause I don't ever get my appendage up high enough to pass the drink without tipping it. It's like,
I could tip the drink and catch it before it spilled.
Get your hand up high enough over the drink. I don't have that ability.
Did you see the picture of that room edition I finished?
I keep thinking my hand's going to go through the drink one of these times. Out of all the times I attempted, all the molecules in my hand are going to line up in the perfect way where it passes right through the drink.
You should just spill some right when you get the drink and see if it happens again.
Yeah, see if it's, once I get it over with, it was just like, I get it over with early. I'm going to spill this drink right now. Just tell the waitress. Let me just knock this fucker over now.
Bring
me a drink and bring a towel when you come.
Yeah.
Right away, just fucking bring the towel. Leave it here at the table.
My ex-wife, they used to put her drink in a sippy cup with the lid like you give the kids with the straw because they knew she was going to spill that fucker.
You got any sippy cups back there? So you tell the fucking bartender.
I swear to God.
You got a sippy cup back there for me?
We're tired of you spilling your drink. We're going to give you the kids' cup now.
You get the kids' cup at the bar.
This whole time that you didn't realize. You're the server. You should be able to know your patrons.
Yeah.
This guy needs a tip. You walk over. This guy's going to need a tissue. Why? Because he's a fucking crybaby.
There's a cleanup in the fifth table before it even happens.
You go down the list of the bar, like you start and there's a whole group of regulars there. You know when they're like changing and the waitress is always like, or the bartender like, I'll be leaving in 15 minutes. You're like, why don't you just say, give me a fucking tip, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Where's my tip?
Leaving over here.
I'm gonna be leaving.
He's gonna be your server from now on. Really? Oh, then I'm gonna fucking leave. I do shit like that.
Yeah, that's it. I'm out of here.
Oh, you're leaving? Oh, so am I. Forget it.
Fuck it.
I'll leave you the tip. I'm gonna leave him the tip as soon as you leave.
Yeah. If you stay, I'll stay.
See if he throws any your way tomorrow. Yeah. Here, say, if you don't get a sawbuck from this dude tomorrow, he's keeping your tips. You start a big
He better do a good job when you're gone.
You show up to the bar and it's your shift and you're pissed because you're hungover because you work late at the bar.
Yeah.
And there's a whole group of regulars there who you can't hate, but you smile at because you want a good tip and you can't stand any of them anyway. So you go down the list and you hand them all their things right away. One dude gets this beer. You know how?
We went to this pizza place the other day and they fucking made our pizza all fucking wrong, right? It takes for fucking ever to get a pizza too.
Right.
So the manager comes over and he's like, dude, we'll make you a new one, whatever. You know, we'll take this one off the bill, you'll get a new pizza. So you gotta wait another fucking 25 minutes, right? So they fucking made it wrong again. The fucking second time it came, it was wrong the second time.
Like, I specifically ordered a square pizza.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
You keep bringing me these round ones.
My wife was pissed. She's like, I want to fucking tell these people off. I'm like, what good's it gonna do?
You're gonna get some extra ingredients on your pizza.
Well, I didn't want shit after that. I was like, fuck this. I went outside with the fucking vape pipe and just vaped for a while.
Was it an authentic chef from Italy that made these wrong pizzas?
Well, this town is called Naples, so it could be.
So chances are it's a bunch of foreigners that aren't Italian.
Naples, Italy, get it?
I know.
Yeah, that's probably the case, right there.
There's no Italian people cooking in America. There's one I know of. They've taken over that industry as well.
You can go to like Sicily now and they give you a free house because the cities are getting abandoned. And so you could go there and they give you this rundown old fucking 500-year-old house and they're like, it's yours. You just gotta rehab it. It's your fucking place. I'm fucking tempted to do that.
Right? And you get there and you try to order materials and they're like, there's nobody here to take your order.
There's no materials.
Because nobody's here anymore. Yeah. We meant hand-hewn these 2x4s.
That's fucking a tempting idea, dude. I'm ready. I'm ready to get out of here.
I'll do it in a second. Where's that at? Sicily?
Yeah.
Shit, I'm going there, man.
We're already Sicilian, too. We probably could get in with no problem.
They're like, hey, what's your name? You tell them your name, and they shoot you. We've been looking for you guys for fucking 100 years. Wanted to whack the last of your family.
Yeah. You get a free house, though, but we're going to kill you.